Glorious day to you, my friends. Welcome to the 1010 portal, this portal of destiny. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things. They are going to want to talk about a lot of things, about activating this sovereign creator inside of us, making it real, becoming this sovereign creator. This is our opportunity to step through this portal to the true you. We're going to break it down into 4 different sections here, and we're going to talk about the codes, what this portal is, making the choice as this sovereign creator, to be this sovereign creator. And then we're going to talk about our spiritual engine, us working through this, how we do this spiritually and physically. And then we're going to talk about shining our light, using tools to help us shine, be more expressive, be more heart-centered. And then our final decision, this decision to let go of the ideas of who we think we are, so that we can descend into self. Rest in our own true nature, so we can then decide to be this sovereign creator when we start this process all over again. This wheel. So part 1, this portal and the codes, the ones and the zeros. What does this mean? This portal, the 1010 portal. Well, 10 in tarot is the wheel of fortune, this wheel of destiny, this fate. And in our human form, we think this destiny, this fate, is this uninfluential thing. This universe has this plan for us that we don't know about, or we can involve ourselves in. But we'll find out later that not only can we involve ourselves in this, but we can highly influence this. We'll talk about how our fate and destiny come about, and we'll talk about how we can influence it. Influence with our thoughts, our words, and our actions, through alignment, through all the things that we talk about on this channel. And then the codes, the ones and the zeros of this matrix. The one, the hari, the form. Every thought, every word, every deed, every piece of physicality down to the subatomic layer is the form. Every thought and idea that we have, even though it's not in the physical, is a part of the form. All the conditions by which this universe operates is considered the hari, the form. And the zero, the infinite, the Om, pure potential, unlimitless. Both together. That's what this portal is all about. Becoming unlimited, becoming the righteous ruler of our reality, becoming this sovereign creator. You can only do this by inviting in this idea that we think is separate from us, inviting and embracing it, allowing it to come in, breathing in prana from the universe. We can go on and on and on about the ones and the zeros in this binary code that's involved in everything that goes on in this universe. our choice to decide to unlimit ourselves. Our creational blueprint here. We each have this soul agreement with the higher dimensions, with the universe, with God, with our soul group, with our guides, with ourself, with our inner being, on what we wish to experience. But baked inside of us is this creational blueprint. How we do this creational thing. We as humans have another idea of how we make things. Our spiritual self knows differently. How simple this universe is. Our creational blueprint. How we get things done. Our inner being sees ourselves as successful every time, in every moment. Because our inner being understands what we put out to the universe is what we get back. We as our humans, in our human mind and our human self, put attachments on what we wish to create. We put value on what should come to us, and we should on ourselves. It's as simple as that. And we set our expectations based on what we perceived is value that we wish to bring to us. And when it doesn't come to us, we then judge ourselves. We get down, we get depressed. We then make other energetic imprints in our energetic field, thus creating our karma to be unsuccessful, to be in lack. We're creating this destiny, whether we understand it or not. We're creating our fate based on all of our thoughts, all of our words, and all of our actions. We come in as a pure soul when we've incarnated. And then we learn to imprint. Yes, there may be residual imprint from previous lives, but we still come in as a pure soul. There are items that we can remember and choose to continue the imprint. But we can choose to be complete and not continue those ideas from previous lifetimes. This creational blueprint and this free will allows us to continue or not continue it. Every time we decide to do something, every time, the human in us wants to assign a value to it. This is the Gayatri Mantra. Om bhūr BHUVAʿ SVAʿ. We, this infinite creator, ommed. We are the Omkara. We om to create everything. And we created three things. The bhūr, the things, the ideas, the forms. The BHUVAʿ, the meaning that we give everything that we thought out, that we created. And then the SVAʿ, this integration into what we consider the self, ourselves, the egoic self. When our inner being does this creational process, self expands based on bhūr and BHUVAʿ. It expands. It becomes more than it was. Simple. Creation is additive. We as humans think it's a zero-sum game. For us to get something, it must come from someplace else. This is purely logical for humans. We need to move some physical thing from there to here, but this is not how creation works. This is not how manifestation works. This creational blueprint. Think it, know it, be it, and it is true. And we, as a sovereign being, get to make a choice at this point. We can choose, are we going to do the work to realize being this sovereign creator, or are we just going to dream about it? It's as simple as that. So, let's take a few moments. If you wish to decide to be a sovereign creator, relax. They're going to speak a little bit of light language to coax out, to inspire, to rekindle the spark that's inside of you that we may have forgotten that is in there. This sovereign, creative spark, this fire within. So I'll invite you to relax as we finish up part 1. Whether you lie down, whether you sit, does not matter. Relaxation is the only thing that matters. And as a light language talks to your inner being, talks to the sovereign creator inside, allowing you in your conscious mind, in your human mind, to reestablish this relationship, to decide together to be the sovereign creator. Haturyo na sohatiya na shahati kohavaha sotor or hawahanaheya shaheki a hawata aho ura hawatataka shana ehiata sohokoro uta na hawashaheya asuno uro hokawahe chai he kia nahata soro hotoria shavahe kaya hakahasanaya hasa oro hokoshahe siar shoho I tiariachikohona ho ota ha sanahayara. And when you are ready, Nioroto o hoashara iskanahati arahatata. As we begin this part 2, this practice, this work, this karma, this dharma, in the wheel, influencing the wheel through our work, through our thoughts, through our words, through our deeds. We already talked a little bit about karma. Is that our expectations are influencing our karma. When we do something, karma simply means action. But our actions, based on our thoughts, are creating these imprints in our energetic field. In our dharma, our flow within the system here. Some call our dharma our path in life. Some call it the righteous path in life. It's really just the path of ease, or the path of difficulty, based on our thoughts, our words, and our deeds, our mindset. And we can swim upstream like a salmon, making it very difficult. Or we can swim downstream with the flow of the universe, dharma. And we can choose wisely, not based on anybody else's definition of what's wise, what's right, or what's wrong. By listening to our inner being and allowing our inner being, our heart center, our true authentic self, to speak to us, to tell us, through our joy, through our ease, what is the path of ease and the path of dharma for us. So we create less of what we humans call karma, or karmic imprints, or the imprints of our decisions that don't go when we experience contrast. We love it when we experience the alignment, when things go right. But when we put value on that it goes right, instead of being in the going of the rightness, the flow. Kasihitorio onohotorio toto. In this wheel, whether we call it the wheel of fortune, whether we call it this ocean of milk, whether we call it the Dharma chakra, this big turning wheel of fate. And when we think like a human, yes, this work, this hard physical work, this turmoil, and some call it suffering, happens. Our experience with this contrast, when we're swimming against the current, and this big wheel is turning that we don't understand what it is. But when we understand what our inner being is trying to show us, trying to shine through to us, trying to help us realize, both understand the realize and the realize, making it so, making it real. These are the things that are our work. Our alignment and the non-attachment. Aparigraha iskohoryoto oroto. We're taught that this aparigraha is non-attachment or non-covetousness. It might be understood better as unclasping, allowing it to be, or allowing the bird. Don't hold the bird in your hand, don't clasp it, you'll crush it, but allowing it to sit in your hand, allowing it to fly off, allowing it to return. Arusa aya kahawata arhatata. This work of being, this work of stoking our spiritual fire within. This work of meditation, besides the human work of whatever it is that we have to do. The Reiki ideals, Mikao Usui, the founder of Reiki, gave us these Reiki ideals which help us along the path, help us to understand how it is to act and stay centered and stay aligned. Just for today, I shall not anger, worry, shall be filled with gratitude, shall dedicate myself to my work, whatever the work is. You shall be kind to all people. Touches on everything. When we get angry, we're worried about the past. Anything that has happened, we have not let go. When we worry, we're worried about the future, what might happen. And then we start pushing it away because we're worrying about it. Instead of being centered and being in gratitude and focusing on whatever the task is at hand, whether it's washing the dishes or going to work and earning money, whatever it is. This anger and worry aren't helping us at all. And the practice is, when we start to feel angry, know that there's another choice. Our inner being is simply saying, there's another viewpoint. And we start worrying about something. It's simply our inner being's way of saying, hello, my friend, I love you. There's a different viewpoint that you can choose right now. It is more aligned. It will happen. It is what it is. It's already created for you. If it is for you, it is there. If it is not for you, then it is your egoic mind that merely wants it. Letting it go. Non-attachment to the outcome of what we have manifested. Staying in our bliss. The advice from Abraham Hicks is simply put down the magic wand we're worried about, or that we're angry about. And pick up any other magic wand that we have that's in our pile of all of our manifestations and simply pick it up. And then start waving that wand around to bring out our joy, to bring out the ease, to be in ease, to be in love. And the point at this point, at the end of phase 2, is this choice to ignite this spiritual fire inside, to be this sovereign creator. We chose to activate it at the end of phase 1, and now we're choosing to set it on fire, to ignite, cause the ignition of our spiritual engine to have this power stroke, this inevitable power. Arihatoro uto, yes. We're putting a tilde on the N, inevitable. Because in yes, I am able. So let's take a moment, again, at the end of phase 2. If you wish to, choose to be this sovereign creator. Simply relax. And focus on the light within, in the heart center. If we can't see it right now, it is okay. Know that it is there. And if you can't see it, simply imagine it. Imagine this light from within, from this fire within, this holy fire within, which is the source of our bright light. This holy fire comes from the highest source of consciousness. And every breath we take with intention fans the flames of our holy fire and brightens our already bright light. This prana that we breathe is the air that we breathe and the spiritual fuel that we breathe. And when we do our spiritual work, this air and this prana work together in our physical bodies to align us, to enjoy us, to satisfy us, to make life easy. Now let us send this internal light, expand it more from the heart center out to our physical body, to the limits of our physical body, expanding it outward and outward, out through our energetic body. And then on the breath out, simply shine it out into every aspect of our awareness. Ura hawa a shanahe ucha arahaka arahatuna hawatuhur. When you are ready, Nioryochohoto Urhukuta Hawaha Sasisiriyaha. In part 3, Isohuyata Arahanata, this inevitable power. Niryorototo, it's your inner shine, this inevitable. It's inevitable. Iskohotor. There I can say it finally. In, yes, I am able. This power of positivity. So let us talk about chakras. In the first section, it's about Muladhara, the root chakra, Ariyato, the earth chakra. Us inviting, us being in gratitude, us understanding we're in this physical world and we came here by choice. In the second section, we move up to the second chakra, Swadhisthana, however you wish to call it. The sacral chakra, the water chakra, where we're going with the flow, where the self is established. That's what Swadhisthana means. Swaha, where our ideas of who we are become established. When we imprint with our emotions, we're further identifying as will, as me, as this human being. When we meditate, when we chant, when we use mantra, when we perform yoga, when we simply be, when we're enjoying life, we're then just simply shining. This is the inevitable power that's inside of us. Manipura, the jeweled city, our solar plexus chakra, our fire chakra, where we are now in phase 3, the third chakra. It has 10 petals. This is 1010. This is all about Manipura, our internal power, our fire chakra, the fire within. And it's not this egoic desire, I want this, therefore I'm going to make it. It's this knowing inside, the channeling of our inner divine willpower, which is the true power. In Patanjali's third book, Vibhuti, Vibhuti is this higher power. The I, is the higher. It has to deal with the essence. It's part of VAH, the beach mantra of Swadhisthana, which means essence. We're in our essence of power, not this human egoic idea of power. This essence of our own internal creational power. That's what it is. Manipura embodies this when aligned with the heart center. When we're truly utilizing our spiritual engine, our alignment, our joy, our ease, our satisfaction. Satisfaction implies that we're not worried and we're not angry. Ease implies we're not worried and we're not angry. Enjoy implies we're not worried and we're not angry. So our actions are complete. Our actions are kriya. In Kundalini Yoga, all of the recipes are called kriyas. They involve breathing, sometimes they involve chanting, they involve movement. And they're all a part of the practice to be complete, to practice being complete, so we can shine and perform our actions as complete, without attachment, without judgment. That's what Manipura is really all about. And then we have meditation and mantra, japa, our practice of mantra, maybe using a mala, maybe using any other tool. Mantra simply means mind, man, and tra, tool. Meditation is a tool of the mind. And when we simply breathe and allow our breath to consume our awareness, we stop thinking about all the things we need to buy at the grocery store. We stop thinking about who's upset at us now because of whatever. We stop forgetting about what other people think about us or how we've decided to live our lives. All these judgments are not present when we're in meditation or focus. My two favorite mantras, the Gayatri Mantra. It's all about us understanding that we are this divine light. And when we meditate upon this divine light, we become more aligned. We become more complete. We start to realize, understand that we are this completeness. We are this whole. We are the self. We are the light. So then we can realize, make it real. And this is what the Moola Mantra is all about. The Moola Mantra is all about taking this divinity and making it real. This is what Kabbalah is all about. One is Keter, the crown, going through all of the Sephirah, down to number 10, Malkuth, our foundation. The emanations of God, or divinity, or divine light, whatever we wish to call it, wisdom, understanding, these are all part of us in our manifestation process, making it real, realizing it. But the true realization can only happen through realization, which is a part of Kabbalah. Nari, Hura, Saya, Acho, Hukawa, Nya, Kahanare, Hataro, Hoko, Tohora, Tohota. So, we're at another choice point. We're at the end of part 3. Do we want to fully utilize our inevitable power, to embody our inevitable power? Do we wish to do this? We can only do this by letting go of who we think we are. That's it. Some call it surrender. Some call it many things. But only by letting go, descending into self, the death of the ego, the death of who we think we are. Only by that can we let go of who we think we are and become self, becoming self-aware, becoming the sovereign creator. But we do this by letting go of every idea of what a sovereign creator is, letting go of every idea of who we think we are, allowing identity to flow, letting go. So I invite you again to relax. A little light language to help let go, to know self, to become self. Kasanaheti, Chiarara, Hasanahe Koora Hava, Sok Osha Hanati Hiara, Toro Usha, Na Kahea Ashana Hera, So Na Wahashesiara, Hara Ka Chahanayara. And now for part 4, this embodying of the true you into this heart-mind existence. It wouldn't be my channel if we weren't talking about the Brahma Vihara. We're in the Jewish festival of Sukkot, part of the High Holy Days. Sukkot, is the festival of booths, where we build a booth for God, the presence of God. I believe this booth is really in our heart center. This external idea of God, as we build this booth, this Brahma Vihara, this abode of Brahma, in our heart center, with loving kindness, with harmony, with compassion, and with joy. These are the four parts of Brahma Vihara. Some call it the four minds. Some call it the four immeasurables. It's simply your heart center. Or better yet, other words for your true authentic self. Or other words for you as the sovereign creator, who lives in joy and love without attachment, without limitations. Simply, Neo Rohoka, Sananani Riarahana Akatuta, Shiotora, Na Sahaya Nikohava Tetirioroto. And when we do this, other chakras are heart center. Anahata, our heart center, the air chakra. We're in this fourth segment right now. Urohotoro Oshanawayata. Anahata means unstruck, not. Hata, struck, to strike. This inner drumbeat inside of us. There is nothing external that is causing our drum to beat. Our internal being is striking this drum, causing this vibration, this om from within, which is creating everything. This unstruckness. And Hridaya, our spiritual heart center, which is this Brahma Vihara, our Anandamaya Kosha. When we take off all the layers of who we think we are, it simply reveals this bliss within, the core of who we are, this Ananda, this bliss. When we're here, we are in our lotus of awareness, our, as Patanjali calls it in the Yoga Sutras, Tada Drashtu Svarupe Avastanam. And then, Dasir Drashtu Svarupe Avastanam. We reside in our true nature, our true form. We take on the form of essence, being, which is our true nature, where we dwell in our lotus of awareness, where we can observe and not judge and not attach, and create and observe and not judge. Be the bliss, be the joy. Tioroto o shanahawaka utu hutunyana sawa a shanahaku urota. And now we're at the end of part 4. There's only one decision. We have descended into self. We have descended into death. If we're satisfied, we're done. It's as simple as that. We can stay one with the universe, or with our new understanding. We can be the sovereign creator and decide to live. Decide to live within Dharma. to act in wholeness, creating imprints of alignment instead of imprints of memories. Completely. We can decide to live. Decide to live. This is what we do every day when we get out of bed. We decide to get up. There's only so many decisions we need to make. Getting up every day is the same thing as deciding to breathe, deciding to incarnate, deciding to live as the sovereign creator that you already are. There's nothing we can learn. There are no courses to take. You already are the sovereign creator. Sihikoro usha iriaranahayaka awaha toro oro ukatayata. So I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Jiokota narahatata shiokohasa itahanataka. So shine on. Shine on from your inner being. Shine on with your inner being. Shine on as your inner being, this sovereign creator. And make it a great day as the sovereign creator that you are. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Nasa ishko toro uka nasa he ka'a ho tanamaha ka'a.